Hey podcaster, I'm Tim Wahlberg, your podcast performance coach, with another actionable tip so you can grow your podcast authority, generate leads, and convert with ease. Today's tip is audit your podcast. Now, before you run to the hills at a mention of an audit, I promise no government agencies need to be involved. Let me break down what a podcast audit is. Think of it like a health check for your podcast. Just like you'd go to the doctor for a physical to make sure everything's running smoothly, a podcast audit is a thorough examination of your show to make sure it's in top shape. It's not scary, I promise. It's just a way to make sure your podcast isn't suffering from any hidden issues that could be holding you back. And yes, you need one. Seriously, when was the last time you gave your podcast a good hard look? And I'm not talking about just a quick listen while you're folding laundry. I mean a down and dirty, nitty gritty, put on your big kid pants audit. If you haven't done one, you're basically driving blindfolded. And that's a one-way ticket to Podcast Crashville. Here's why you need a podcast audit, like yesterday. First, your podcast is a reflection of your brand. Think of it like your bathroom mirror, first thing in the morning. If your audio quality is fuzzy, your content is meandering, or your messaging is about as clear as your fogged up mirror, then guess what? Your listeners are seeing your brand with bedhead, toothpaste on your chin, and crusties in your eye. Not a good look, right? An audit will help you identify if your podcast is reflecting your brand the way you want it to. Second, podcasting isn't a game or a hobby. It's a serious marketing tool. You're putting in time, money, and let's be honest, a whole lot of love into your podcast. But if you're not seeing real results from your business, whether that's more leads, more authority, or more sales, then something's off. A podcast audit helps you figure out where your efforts are falling flat and what you can do to start getting the ROI you deserve. And the third reason you need a podcast audit, you don't know what you don't know. Be honest, when you look back at starting your podcast, did you have rose-colored glasses on? Maybe you started your podcast because someone said you should, or you saw other people using podcasting as a powerful way to increase visibility, and you thought, I could do that. So you jumped in, and that's great. But now it's time to take off those rose-colored glasses because you've discovered there's more to podcasting than turning on a mic and hitting publish, especially if you want some ROI for your business. It's like setting up a tent in your backyard and calling it camping. Sure, you're outside, but if you want the full experience, the campfire, the stargazing, the s'mores, you've got to go deeper into the wilderness. A podcast audit shows you what you're missing so you can take your show from good to great. If you're serious about podcasting, if you want to stand out and not just blend into the background noise, you've got to audit your show because here's what's at stake: your podcast success, your credibility, and ultimately your ability to turn those listeners into raving fans and paying customers. If you don't take a good look at what's going on with your podcast, you can't expect your podcast to do what you want it to do for you, or your brand, or your bottom line. Think of your podcast like a classic car. It might look good on the outside, shiny and new, but under the hood, it could be a disaster waiting to happen. If you're not regularly popping the hood and checking the engine, aka doing a podcast audit, you could find yourself stranded on the side of the road. And trust me, nothing kills your momentum faster than podcast engine failure. And what about your listeners? They're like the passengers on this ride. If your podcast is making weird noises, pulling to the left and spewing out exhaust, they're going to bail out faster than you can say unsubscribe. So it's settled, right? You need to do a podcast audit. And now you're probably thinking, okay, how the hell am I going to do that? Look, step away from Google because I have a 7-step audit process that I'm happy to share with you for free. In the free podcast audit, I walk you through the key things every entrepreneur should be considering with their podcast in an exclusive video training. Did you catch the best part of that? It's free. Free. But don't let that free price fool you. This isn't one of those quick, flashy, just slap some duct tape on it fixes. This is a comprehensive step-by-step guide that'll help you diagnose what's really going on in your podcast so you can make informed decisions on what needs to change. The insights you'll get from this audit and the changes you'll make because of it will no doubt bring you closer to boosting that podcast ROI. And I hope that's just the thing you need right now for your podcast. So what are you waiting for? Head over to podcastperformancecoach.com/free-podcast-audit and grab your free podcast audit training. I'll pop that link into the show notes. Let's look at your podcast from all angles so we can turn it into the podcast that you love and that loves you back. Don't waste another second trying to figure out how to fix your podcast. Do the audit and learn exactly where to put your efforts. Grab access to the free podcast audit using the link in the show notes or by going to podcastperformancecoach.com/free-podcast-audit. I'm Tim Walbert. See ya!